I know, right? I know. I mean, I was trying to watch the Detroit Tigers Minnesota Twins game Friday afternoon, and it was everywhere. I mean, a lot of pomp, circumstances. No, not the Tigers Twins game. But from what I understand, the results was no substance. Yeah, I'm talking about the Donald Trump, Vladimir Putin summit in Alaska. It preempted the baseball game, much to my chagrin. Chagrin? What's that word anyway? Chagrin. Is that a chagrin? The whole thing, I was frankly disappointed in it. They rolled out the red carpet. They had military flyovers, troops. President Donald Trump was smiling, clapping. For who? An internationally wanted war criminal who started a war without provocation. And continues to commit what, Andy? Major war crimes? Seriously, I remember a time when Russia was like the enemy, you know. Back when I was a kid, we had spy versus spy. We had James Bond movies, Goldfinger, Bob Bob, he's the man with the gold, we had gold, right, James Bond movies in the good old Cold War. I mean, what happened to the good old Cold War, the arms race, you know? I mean, presidents weren't, when I was a kid, pulling out red carpets for Russian war criminals, and that's exactly what we got. Make no mistake about it. Putin is a war criminal. He's targeting civilians. He targets schools, hospitals, animal shelters, all the while committing genocide in the name of the motherland. I mean, come on. To watch a United States president gush over Putin was whatever. All I know is that Trump was all smiles before the meeting, and Putin wasn't smiling so much. And after the meeting, Putin was all smiles, and Trump wasn't smiling so much. So, and what happened? And after the meeting, Putin what? Went back to the, back in the U.S., back in the U.S., back in the USSR. Well, the Ukraine girls really knocked me out. They leave the West behind. And Moscow girls make me sing and shout. And Georgia's always on my, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, back when the good old days with the U.S., the United Soviet Socialist Republic. Man. I kind of miss all those days. Yeah, we miss the good old days with the USSR and people singing songs about it. I guess so, Andy. Later today, President Trump meets with Vladimir Zelensky. at the White House. And I guess the NATO chief and a couple other European leaders, who's coming, the France guy, the France people, or who's going to come? They're going to show support. The war's sitting there right in the backyard. So, of course, Europeans are, they're looking out the back door and seeing war right there in the backyard. So, of course, the Europeans, I think they're showing up, though, more to show solidarity with Zelensky. You remember the last time Zelensky showed up to the White House, it turned into a gag fest with everyone making fun of Zelensky and ridiculing him. Basically, it was like they were bullying him because, he wasn't wearing a suit and tie. How embarrassing. And not for Zelensky, but for the people that were like publicly, What did Elon Musk wear to the White House? What? T-shirts and leisure suits and sweatpants and Captain Sweatpants. No, that's Elon Musk. Again, that meeting is sometime today. Didn't get that war done day one, did he? Turned out to be a little bit more problematic. All right. All right, good morning. It is Monday, August 18th. And it is already warm out there, Andy. Man, it's supposed to be in the upper 90s for the 100 on Wednesday? No. Tomorrow? Holy shnikes. It's supposed to be in the upper 90s and looking at hundreds, maybe, tomorrow. Man, we pegged it when we said the dog days of August are here. Always love that dog gag. Gives me time to drink a little coffee. Were those the hounds of Baskerville? Or the hounds from hell? We're on the highway to hell. Boom. Yeah, all right. Before we get any further, remember to hit that like button right over there. Give me the thumbs up there. And if you haven't, already go over there and hit the subscribe button over here on the left, or on the right, I mean. That way you'll be notified of any and all new content, and you could have a chance to win some fabulous prizes. Andy, are we doing prize giveaways this morning? We are not. All right. But there's going to be in the future? There will. All right. Also, if you subscribe, you can take part in our weekly Monday morning poll. And do we have a question up today? We do. You approve of the Alaskan Summit on Friday? Simple yes or no answer. Yeah, what a cool thing. All right, now, where's my prop? Right here. Yeah, there it is. And this morning's podcast is brought to you in part each and every Monday morning by our good friends down here at the Great Falls Gazette. All the news that's fit to print reported by members of our community, is available every Tuesday, Thursday, and then this is yesterday's Sunday Deluxe edition. What's on the cover? On Sunday's Deluxe, the River Edge Trail Luminaria Walk and the tradition of love locks lives on in Great Falls. I am not on the cover. What am I going to do if I'm on the cover? I'm going to buy 5 copies for my mother. Hey, going to see my smiling face on the cover of the Great Falls Gazette. Oh, yeah. That bit never gets old, does it? It does. It's getting old. I'll tell you what's not getting old is that we're going to end up on the back page up here. This be good. Crimestoppers, America's most wanted. Pipewrench, wanted for a criminally insane podcast. Criminally insane. Will they lock me up into a sanitarium? They just might. They just might. So what's out in here on the Crimestoppers? We've got, look at Angela's on there again. Look at Angela with the pose. Got the old gangster pose going. Oh, and they arrested Jeffrey. Good job, Great Falls Police Department. They just don't do the crime if you can't do the time. All right. Like I said, it is the 18th, and America's cities are starting to be occupied. Am I correct in that? Their military, National Guard, they were in L.A., now they're in Washington, D.C. Boy, I never thought I'd see the day. But I never thought that I'd see military. Personally, I don't like it. You know, military madness is killing my country. Solitary sadness. Okay, Andy, just had to break in the song there for a minute. Any birthdays this morning? Today? Oh, I see it. There it is. The late Patrick Swayze was born on this day in 1952. Well, I had the time of my life. And Dirty Dancing. I mean, come on. He died of pancreatic cancer. He was only 57. What else was he in? Roadhouse, Ghost, The Outsiders. Man, all of that. So, what's going on today, Andy? It's National Bad Poem Day. Did we write a poem? Is a limerick? Okay, it's Bad Poem Day, so we can do it. There once was a lady from Nantucket who, I can't say that, who put, what, I can't do a bad limerick? Why? Okay, all right then. August 18th, today in rock and roll history. Heck, Andy, all this weekend from Friday all the way till this morning, it is what? It is a little bit 8:15. Okay, it's 8:15, 9:15 back east, okay, in Eastern time. Now, that's going to be relevant here in a few seconds, all right? It's been Woodstock weekend all weekend long, and today, by the time we got to Woodstock, we were 500,000 strong. And everywhere there's a song and celebration. Boom, we are golden. No shit, man. Woodstock weekend. always a big, big deal. Part of the Woodstock generation. I was 13 years old. Remember it well. Okay? Now, it was originally billed as 3 days of peace and love. You know, the Aquarius. It says the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Age of Aquarius. Yeah, I mean, it was a music and arts festival for 3 days. But not so fast. Due to the weather and all the logistics and problems that they had and unforeseen things that, you know, it actually spilled over to the fourth day. As bands, they started Sunday night, Monday morning, like early, and played through the night, okay, and through the morning. 4 bands actually played Monday morning, right, early, right. You had, blood, sweat, and tears. What comes up must come down. Spin wheel, got to go round, no doubt. They kicked off Monday morning at around 1:30. I'm looking at this, I should have this memorized by heart. Around 1:30 in the morning. They were followed around 4 or 5 by Paul Butterfield Blues Band. That's correct. And then Sha-Na-Na. No shit, Sha-Na-Na, 50s, or it was Bowser, get a job, get a job, you know, Sha-Na-Na played at like 6 o'clock in the morning. And finally, Jimi Hendrix played around 9 a.m. Eastern Time, between 9 a.m. and 9:30 Eastern Time, and it is 8:15, 8:16, 8:17 or something now. So it's 56 years ago right now, Hendrix was playing right the Star-Spangled Banner, barrel, 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 barrel. Wow, yeah. He was playing the Star-Spangled Banner 56 years ago, right about now. Right now, okay? Man. Yeah, I get goosebumps thinking about it, you know? No doubt. What a part. What a great part growing up, man. 56 years ago. 56 years ago? Man, I can't believe that. Man, it's just a blink of the eye. Don't blink. It seems literally. I remember it. I was 13, I said, you know. Man. I mean, technically speaking, the Woodstock Music and Art Fair didn't even take place in Woodstock. Oh, they had something figured out, and they didn't have figured out. The promoters there's 4 kids, 4 21, 22-year-old kids, 20-year-old guys, never promoted much of anything. They're like, hey, let's throw a concert. They ended up being, Woodstock. They ended up, they were 60 miles southwest of Woodstock. Yeah, they were on Old Max Yasgur's farm. E-I-E-I-O. Yep, Old Max had a farm. And on that farm, he had some bands with a barrel here and a barrel there. Here a barrel everywhere, a barrel. Old Max Yasgur had a farm. E-I-E-I-O. You know, it was supposed to be, what? It was supposed to be this small concert, right? Just this small gathering, local New York people would come. And it turned out to be what? What was the quote from what we got now is breakfast in bed for 400,000 people. You know, I mean, it's like, whoa. They didn't expect that at all. You know, you got to also remember the timing of this whole concert. You know, the United States was deeply divided. Not as divided as we are now, I don't think. You know, I lived back then. I don't know if if we've ever been as divided as, well, yeah, once we were divided like this. And that was not a very good outcome. But we were divided over the Vietnam War. Okay, there's protests nationwide. You know, the hippie movement, we had the Summer of Love just a year and a half, 2 years before. In 67, at Altamont in 68. Yeah, the Woodstock 69, is that correctly? That's not, all right. We just lost Martin Luther King Jr. just the year before. Okay, that was raw. Everybody's like, you know, all we are saying is give peace a chance. You know, the festival itself, man, it's what is it? It's like it's become a pivotal moment in popular rock and roll music history. Culture, it's a defining moment, that's for sure, for baby boomers and silent generation, both. Remember, we're talking 1969. I'm a boomer, and I was born in 56, so I was only 13. No, I did not go to it. We will get to that in a moment. We will get it, yes. You got to remember, though, I mean, we're going to get back to the size here for a minute. Yeah, will you look at the size of that thing? You got to remember, originally there was 50,000 people expected. When it all was said and done, they say that 1 million people descended on Woodstock. Not all of them made it, but organizers, like I said, they had to scramble to add more conveniences and toilets and concessions and whatever, and highways and roads came to, they didn't slow down. They came to a complete halt. Roadways? No, there's nothing moving. Nothing moving for 30 miles. Nothing. Complete. People just said, oh, the hell with it, We'll grab some stuff and we'll just walk. Walk to the concert. Just left their cars. That's why, it was just, they walked miles to the venue. 30 miles to the venue. Eventually, about 1 million people made it to Max's farm. Yep. E-I-E-I-O, with a Jefferson airplane here, and then 10 years after there, here was the Who, here was Can He, E-I-E-I-O. What a cultural phenomena. Could you imagine trying to see this happen today? in today's culture and the way everybody is in today. Everybody's rushing and bustling. The logistics, you had to go buy tickets. They sold like 50,000. No, they sold like, well, how many? Throw it up there. 17,000 tickets were sold. People showed up. They tore down the fences. It's a free concert for everybody. Don't forget the weather. Talk about logistics. It rained and let it rain, rain, do. Yeah, it rained and rained. There's like mud. Yeah. You had Wavy Gravy there. Wavy Gravy was there, provided the hog farmer, turned acid guru, was there providing security. Oh, yeah, there was all sorts of horror stories. There was reported that, 8 women had miscarriages. That was false. Only one fatality over the 4 days. That was a kid got ran over, got hit by a tractor. That wouldn't be good. That was it. No violence. No violence at all. They're saying they think that was because there was so much acid and the hippie movement was going that everybody was acid. And you heard stories about, don't take the brown acid. The brown acid is bad acid. No, that's not true. The brown acid was really, really, really good acid. And these people had never done it before, so they were flipping out. What the heck? We're seeing rainbows and everything else. Oh, yeah. Santana. Yeah, Carlos Santana said that the whole band was tripping on acid, and then halfway through the set, his guitar neck turned into a snake. Yeah, well, I don't know. That was probably in a black magic woman. You got a black magic woman. Santana's all frying on acid. Guitars are turning into snakes. They're playing. Oh, they had Canned Heat. Like I said, Canned Heat was there. I'm going to the country. Got to get Grateful Dead. Janis Joplin. Like I said, 10 years after. The Who, Sly and the Family Stone. I mean, it was just, it's just, man. Joe Cocker was there. There's bands that weren't there. Led Zeppelin, the Byrds, the Doors, the Stones, all declined invitations. They all said, no. It's just a big concert. We're not going to go. I was in New York at the time. We had just watched Man Walking on the Moon. We were in Dunkirk, Fredonia area. I was with my dad and my brother and my stepsisters and all of them people. In '69, the divorce was, cooking, and Linda was going to Woodstock, and Dad was like, you just saw the Man in the Moon a couple of weeks ago, you don't need to go to some concert. And I wanted to go, and she went, and I didn't get to go. And it was just not too far from where we were at. It was, I missed it by this much, Everybody was, and all the bands. Jefferson Airplane was there. One pill makes you larger, and one pill makes you small. And the one that mother gives you don't do anything at all. Go ask Alice when you're 10 feet tall. What a cultural phenomena it turned into be. Oh, geez, you got movies. You got 2 albums, 2 live albums. I got them both. Two. Okay? What? Snoopy's bird on Peanuts is named Woodstock. By the time we got to Woodstock, I mean,
Yeah, it's Joni Mitchell wrote that song, by the way. And Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young made it a hit, but Woodstock was written by Joni Mitchell. So it's, it had it all. It had everything you need for a cultural, 400 plus thousand people, a who's who and greatest bands of the day, the culture, LSD, it was part of the culture back then. I think I spent from my sophomore summer all the way through my junior year, all the way through, we were tripping. Yeah, it was cultural phenomena. And you had Wavy Gravy, you had everything you need for a great movie, a great life event. I'm glad I lived and was that close and have talked to people and know people that went and was part of that era. Like I said, Andy, you would never, ever, ever see anything like that today. No. You wouldn't see 10 years after, car going home, No. Hendrix doing the start, no. You wouldn't get 400,000 plus to get along. And I said that. Andy, how are we doing on time? We're out of time. All right then. Let's get all that everything. All right then. Remember, 56 years ago today, go listen to some Woodstock music. Spay and neuter. Adopt, don't shop. Foster, rescue, volunteer. Hey, adopt a shelter pet today. Andy, we're out of here. Until next Monday, we're out of here.